We have biases and prejudices in this world, and I'll admit, and I'm talking about it from a very personal perspective, I am prejudiced and I'm biased. And I'll relate an incident that just happened. So my son, he watches videos of Trevor Noah. He's got a late night show. I forget what it's called, but and I enjoy the guy, and I really like watching his videos along with my son. And my son just got one of his books, and it's called Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. Now, when I started reading the book, I was really shocked because Trevor Noah has an unbelievable beginning. So he was born in South Africa, and he had quite a challenging circumstances around his growing up. Well, maybe the title is a clue, Born a Crime. And I was shocked not just to learn of all that, but I was also shocked to realize that I had already conceived an idea in my head of what his backgrounds may be. Now, I did know that he came from South Africa, but when I read the book, I realized that it clashed with the idea in my head, because the idea in my head, the prejudice, the bias, was that, oh, I'm sure he comes from a really rich family, and that's how he was able to move to the United States. Now, of course, I felt embarrassed by that, but I think we got to go a little bit deeper. And so I was talking to my son, and I said, well, why do we do that? Why do we try to bucket people in this manner? And as soon as I said it, I realized that I know the answer. Now, I've read enough psychology and watched enough TED Talks to know that what brain basically does, it's a fascinating organ, and it uses up a lot of energy. If you look at the caloric needs of your body, brain is just eating up, a lot of energy. And it realizes that, right? Our body, our mind realizes that it is very energy hungry, and that's why it tries to optimize every single chance it gets. Now, what does that mean? How does it actually do that? Now, what that means is that the brain, instead of figuring out every person by themselves, like, looking at every person as an individual, we often don't do that. What we do is we bucket or categorize them, right? So we bucket or categorize them just so it becomes easier for us to deal with them. Just, again, brain is trying to conserve energy. So if I bucket a group of people and call them my family, it gets easier for my brain. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to behave in the family. I'm with family. That's why I'm behaving this way. If we bucket and group a set of people as colleagues, then we go, oh, I'm with colleagues, and hence I'm going to behave. So you see how it works. And of course, it's also looking for patterns, and it fits things into patterns. And it says, so in my mind, the belief or the pattern system that I had was that if you are an immigrant, you got to be, well, either really lucky or really rich to come to the United States. I was one of them. We weren't very rich, but I was incredibly lucky. And somehow in my mind, I had, my brain automatically just fit Trevor Noah. I was like, lucky, well, he must have been rich. So I just put it there. Now, what can we learn from all that? For one, I do believe that studying psychology, studying how our brain works, and just understanding that is probably good for everybody. But practically speaking, in here, we need to realize that we're always going to be susceptible to this. We're always going to be susceptible to our brain locking us into these patterns and buckets. And that cannot be avoided. You cannot step out of that. But what you can become is more aware of these buckets and patterns, and watch out when your brain makes a mistake, and gently tug it to the right side. Now, of course, this applies whether you're talking about biases or prejudices about judging people, or it applies to the thoughts, the patterns, the beliefs that you have about working hard or achieving your goals, or about relationships. Each of those, all of those places, watch out and figure out what your patterns are, how your brain has been taking the shortcut, because some shortcuts may not be serving you right. Power on, my friends.